I did see this at the beginning of this year. Um, damn, this bad boy, the iPhone. This supposedly iPhone fold shit that's supposed to be coming out, and I got an iPad. I use that mug a lot, bro. And I do wish I had something smaller. And bro, off the bat, my nigga, if they come out with,
Apple's getting ready to release the
I'm
first
copping.
truly new iPhone in nearly 20 years. So today, I want to show you exactly what the iPhone Fold is going to look like and how it works.
But this is, I don't know too much. I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know too much of the like of the details and everything, the specs of the damn phone and shit.
By going hands-on with an exclusive design mock-up. We've also gotten a bunch of other leaks recently showing how Apple is solving the crease problem, the exclusive multitasking features on the way, and the potential pricing that is even higher than we expected. But before we get into all of that, I want to start off by showing you this, which is the alleged final design of the iPhone Fold. And
I ain't gonna count that much. Small
so just to be
is
clear, this is a non-functional dummy unit made out of metal, and the idea is to give case makers and other accessory manufacturers an idea of the product so they can make things around it. And pretty much the first thing you'll notice when using this is the form factor that is short and wide. I was expecting to hate this, but in your hand it actually feels pretty natural. I think it's going to be great to use one-handed. On the front, you've got this 5.3 inch cover display, and then when you open it up, you've got this much bigger 7.8 inch screen on the inside. And I didn't actually realize how big this was going to be, but it is near the size of an iPad mini. Now, the bezels around the display do look pretty thin, but you'll notice there are not any cutouts for Face ID hardware on here, which is something you can see on the iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max dummy units. It's actually going to be the smaller dynamic island this generation. So why don't we see Face ID hardware on the Fold? Well, it's because the Fold isn't going to have Face ID. As numerous rumors have reported, the Fold is actually going back to Touch ID. And Apple plans to place it inside of the power button on the right side of the product. Pretty much the same Touch ID power button implementation that we've seen.
I don't know why. I kind of do miss the fingerprint shit.
iPad before, and as we continue to go through this, you're going to notice more iPad similarities. Like the volume buttons on this iPhone aren't placed on the left side anymore. They've been moved to the top right edge, which again is a similar implementation.
It's like this thing is definitely made for content. Like, as you can see, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a device.
To how we see the power buttons on Apple's current generation.
And that's exactly what the hell I'm gonna use it for.
That being said, what you won't find on here is an action button, and it seems that is just absent entirely. In fact, on the iPhone Fold as of right now, it doesn't look like there will be any action button or any ring or silence switch, which would be a first for the iPhone. Although personally, I'm just guessing that it is missing from the models that have been floating around, and I would bet almost anything that the final production version will have an action button of some kind on the device. Flip the iPhone Fold around though, and there's not much happening on the back at all. There are just two camera lenses here, a wide and ultra wide, placed inside of the raised camera plateau that Apple first debuted on the iPhone 17 series. I am noticing, however, that there's no MagSafe ring below that, where on the iPhone 18 Pro dummies, looking at these, there is MagSafe on both units. So the fact that it is missing on the Fold leads me to believe that this might actually ship without MagSafe. However, while all of this is cool, my big question has been on why now? I mean, why is Apple chosen in 2026 as the year to make a folding phone? I wanted to find the answer. So
yeah, they came super late.
Doing different on theirs compared to all the other folding phones that have existed on the market, and it's actually pretty interesting because I think Apple has actually solved the #1 issue with them, which has been the screen with the crease going down.
Yeah,
it's been on every single foldable ever made in history, and while they have gotten better over time, they are still usually visible from some angles. Going back to that question, right, why now for Apple? I think it's because they have finally developed a foldable display that is just as good as a regular iPhone display. According to the rumors, the iPhone
That's
Fold
gonna
will
be
combine 3
crazy.
distinct technologies at once in order to achieve a perfect display. First up is the hinge that connects the front and the back of the phone together. Apple's will be made out of a liquid metal material that will be able to bend repeatedly and precisely. The reason this matters is that when the screen is flexing, Apple's hinge will spread out the tension evenly and without shifting around even after thousands and thousands of bends, which also ties into the second component, and that's the display. The display on the iPhone Fold is going to be technically insane. Apple is...
It's like, bro, I think this thing gonna come with hella flaws. Like, I mean, not off the rip, but like down the road. Because it's just like it's so much that's going into this one. But I don't,
basically sandwiching...
like he just said, they've been taking a hella long time to come out with this product. So that's probably what they been mastering for all of these years.
OLED panel between 2
But
separate layers of...
if they actually used all of these years, like, bro, that's gonna, I mean, it's like, then I would trust it more. You know what I'm saying?
Apple is basically sandwiching the OLED panel between 2 separate layers of UTG or ultra-thin glass. Essentially, the idea being that if you bend multiple layers of glass...
But I can't see them niggas, you know, taking all of this time to try to perfect this one thing, anti-creasing.
At the same time, instead of just one, it will again more evenly distribute the tension so that that crease never forms in the first place. I also think with a screen this big that the iPhone Fold would be really good at note-taking, particularly if Apple finally adds support for the Apple Pencil to the iPhone. Now, it hasn't made sense on other iPhones.
It looked like it's made to like Photoshop, After Effects, all that shit.
But considering this is iPad,
and that's exactly what I use my iPad for.
Sized, it would actually make a lot of sense on here. And note taking is something I do all the time. It's actually why I partnered up with Notability, who sponsored today's discount was used, known as an OCA or optically clear adhesive that prevents tension from building up in just one area of the display. Basically, the OCA acts like a variable glue or shock absorber for the screen so that when it's bending, it's spread out all across the fold rather than just in one specific area. OCA is also an active material that over time can fill in microscopic irregularities that form, meaning that you'll see a consistent look long into owning the phone. And I cannot emphasize enough this long-term view that Apple is taking and how important it is. Because a lot of people don't talk about that all the folding phones out right now, even if the crease doesn't look that bad on day one, this is how they generally look months down the road. Where a lot of other foldables have a crease that only gets worse over time, Apple is taking a preventative approach where they don't want you to ever see the crease because of the 3 types of engineering pieces they've used. Listen, the reason I'm so confident Apple has figured this out is that no other company has tried all 3 of these new components at once, and I think this could be the way that Apple does it. I think they have finally figured out the screen. Although there's no doubt that the manufacturing of all of this is going to be incredibly complex, so much so that some sources began to report that the iPhone Fold wasn't going to ship in September as we initially thought. You might have even seen reports that the iPhone Fold was heavily delayed, not said to launch until December now, unlike the normal September release timeframe, but it appears that that is not true. As the latest rumors suggest that while Apple had a couple of temporary hiccups, these will not impact the launch date, and these should be coming in September on the same day as the 18 Pros or extremely soon after. Now, so far we've been talking about the iPhone Fold hardware, but I actually think the software story is equally interesting, because according to a new report, Apple has been developing a specialized version of iOS 27 that only runs on the iPhone Fold and features a few exclusive multitasking features. For starters, it sounds like many apps will be redesigned to now feature a sidebar that sits on the left side. If this looks familiar, it's because it is how apps generally look on the iPad, Apple again taking inspiration from there. And in addition to that, you'll also be able to run 2 apps simultaneously in a side-by-side.
Oh my god, bro, that, like, dude, this is everything that I do now. Like, I have to split the
layout, which has probably been a feature request on the iPhone for more than 10 years. I should also mention in this,
but this is supposed to be replacing the iPad mini. I don't have an iPad mini. I don't know how big that is in person. I have a regular size iPad. I think I have an iPad. I got it a couple of years ago, but it get the job done for sure.
Section that video playback is going to be really good on the iPhone Fold 2, and that's because Apple has opted for that 4:3 iPad style aspect ratio. Yeah, on other foldables, this is what watching videos currently looks like, and it is not very good. You've got these giant black bars on the top and bottom, and the actual
Oh, so that's why it's small. Yep. See, look.
video
Okay.
box is barely larger.
Look at Apple, man.
The iPhone Fold, on the other hand, has way less dead space on the display, and it gives you a larger video box because the device is so wide. It actually gives you a larger screen and makes the video experience better than on a normal phone. In fact, the screen on the iPhone Fold is going to be so large that it's led some people to ask whether or not Apple would allow iPadOS to run on here, including the powerful multitasking features and the ability to run pro apps. Well, according to one rumor, that will not be happening, and that the iPhone Fold will exclusively run iOS, and while Apple will be borrowing a couple of things from the iPad software, do not expect this to be a truly foldable iPad in your pocket. It is still distinctly an iPhone. Now for the bad part. We've been talking about a lot of things that are pretty good, seemingly nice stuff for the iPhone Fold, but where Apple also will like to differentiate themselves is with the price tag, and the leaks for this are genuinely absurd. According to this rumor, the iPhone Fold will be available in 3 different storage configurations. The base model is 256 gigabytes, then you go to 512, with the top spec being a 1 terabyte unit. But the prices for these are higher than we thought. We've been hearing, around $2,000, probably $1,999.
Damn.
But that's not what this says. The base iPhone Fold is said to start at $2,300
Ain't no way.
US dollars, with the
Ain't no way they
512
charging that much
going
for a
up
phone.
to $2,600, and the top spec coming in at $2,900 for an iPhone, which is just like silly at this point.
Yeah.
And I
don't
say
think they're
if
doing
these
that.
prices are real, there is nothing we have talked about in this video that justifies that price.
Yeah.
And really, the more that I learn about the iPhone Fold, I think this thing looks cool. Apple's put a lot of work into it, but I'm kind of getting some Vision Pro vibes here. Like Apple's going in on the high end with this super premium product and solving a bunch of issues that nobody else has. But are the use cases there to make this a long-term success? Right
Yeah.
now, I would say probably not. And maybe Apple has more up their sleeves. They definitely do. But multitasking features, that's why you want this. I get it. But for $2,300, you could buy a really good MacBook and do your job on that. This is just an iPhone. Anyway, I'm still excited to see what Apple does with this. I'm curious to try it. If you enjoyed this,
$19.99 is pretty appropriate, I guess. If that's like the top price, I say the damn phone should start at like 15, my nigga. Shit, 15 to 2,000. Damn, it's starting 2,000. I don't know about that, bro. 1999. That shit is crazy. But I like the design and everything. I'm really, really excited for the product. I'm really excited to see what Apple has put into the product. But for 2,000 base starting, I don't know about that, man. That shit kind of crazy.